Okay, we are recording and live streaming when you are ready, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, I'd like to call the Human Resources and Public Works Committee to order. Could we get a motion on the agenda, please?
Make a motion to approve the agenda set.
Support. It's been moved and approved to approve the agenda. All of those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Nay. Opposed, nay. That ayes carry. We have an agenda. Our next item is call to the public. Do we have any public?
We do not have any public online at this time, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Then our first item is consider approving the fiscal year 2025 grant agreement between Isabella County, the Michigan Department of Military and Veterans Affairs, and the Michigan Veterans Affairs Agency for Enhanced Veteran Service Operations in the amount of $78,578 and authorize the board chair to sign the same. Okay, Ian.
Morning.
You have Ian here for Veteran Affairs. What's happening? Same thing that has happened before.
Yep, so same contract we've used before. We did the grant application earlier this summer to pay King Media approximately $50,000 for broadcast radio, streaming audio, connected TV, gas station ads, which has been reasonably successful. I've had more and more people tell me that specifically the gas station ads, they've seen those.
About that.
Exactly, yeah. Actually, Montgomery County was kind of the forefront of that, so they had real successful. So we piled on. Why reinvent the wheel? Just do what somebody else is doing. So we're also using Wade Promotions, which is ICTC bus ads, and then paying for booth fees and various different swag to go to those events. Basically, more of the same. It's been pretty successful. And this is just a formal contract from the application. Any questions?
No, this is what we've been doing for quite a few years now, so. No, really?
Okay, no, I don't have any
All
questions.
right. Consider approving the fiscal year 2025 grant agreement between Isabel County, the Michigan Department of Military and Veterans Affairs, and the Michigan Veterans Affairs Agency for Enhanced Veteran Service Operations in the amount of $78,578 and authorize the board chair to sign the same.
Support. It's been moved and supported to move item 4 to the work and regular session of the county commission next week. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. The ayes carry. Item 4 will be forwarded to next week's county commission meeting.
Thank you.
Ian.
Easy peasy.
Okay, our next item is consider approving the city of Mount Pleasant demolition permit in the amount of $150 for the demolition at the Isabella County Administrative Building and authorize the board chair to sign the same. Faculty Facilities Director here to give us the lowdown on this shocking.
Good morning.
In my mind, when I first.
This is basically just a formality, Commissioner. There is a demolition permit required to demolish the building. Well, we didn't demolish the building. We did the inside of it. And this is set up so that if there was load bearing walls on the inside, to make sure that we didn't remove them and decrease the structural integrity of the building.
Oh, okay.
I met with both Mr. Kench and Mr. Dopker from the fire department out probably 3-4 weeks ago. They looked at the building, everything's fine. It's basically a formality to pay for our permit.
Okay. Could we,
Yep.
any other questions or comments?
No.
Okay. Could we get a
Now we'll
motion,
go
please?
forward. Yep. Consider approving the city of Mount Pleasant demolition permit in the amount of $150 for demolish at the Isabel County Administrative Building and authorize the board chair to sign the same.
Support. It's been moved and supported to move item 5 to the regular and work sessions of the county commission next week. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Motion carries. The item will be forwarded to next week's meetings.
Thank you.
Okay. Our next item is consider approving the proposed lease agreement between Isabella County and the Central Michigan District Health Department commencing on October 1st, 2024, and authorize the board chair to sign the same. We have Steve Hall here, officer for the health, the Central Michigan District Health Department. Hi, Steve.
Morning.
So I guess just really quick little history. We, in terms of the health department, and this is before my time, but when the building was first set up, in essence, we paid the mortgage, so it's like a 20-year. And that, in essence, that's how the building was set up. So we would pay for it, county would own it. Our lease ran out probably 7 years ago now, I'd say.
2017.
Yeah, so in 2017, the lease was up. Prior to that, I had talks with the previous administrator and the previous board chair about potentially lowering our rent when that lease ran out, and it was just one of those things at that time. Lease came out, we didn't have an updated lease, we just kept paying the same amount.
Mhm.
So we're finally to that point where, after all of our auditors talk to us and say, you know, you probably should have an active lease. So Administrator Frost and I have been meeting recently to try to get this done. And in light of the current financial situation with the county, we've agreed to just continue on with the current rate in terms of the lease. We did clean up some language in terms of making things a little easier for us to understand, especially with Mr. Shoemaker and me in terms of maintenance and things like that.
Mhm.
It's status quo and it's for 4 years. And the hope is that, you know, in 4 years, maybe the county will be in a better situation and we can negotiate a little bit more at that point.
Sounds good to me.
Yep, set something in place and we're all covered that way.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a gentleman's agreement and it's been appreciated, I think, on both sides, but there's nothing like having that formalized, right, in a document. I think that, you know, I'm sorry, I don't have memory of that history either. You know,
Right.
that's the trouble with those things, those 20-year agreements, right?
Mhm,
Nobody's
definitely.
in place generally 20 years later. But I think, you know, I trust what Health Officer Steve Hall is saying, and I'm sure that was the conversation.
Mhm.
It's just not been the conversation lately. And I would find it difficult to bring forward to the board at this time a lesser amount, right?
Right.
That's not the air right now. So I really appreciate Steve's ability to come to the table and just say, let's continue where we're at, but let's get it formalized. And thank you, Director Shoemaker, for attending the meetings. He's been through the lease. I know we do need to clean up. There's one section that is a discrepancy about Central Michigan District Health Department has paid utilities. We want them to continue to pay utilities. But there's one section that got changed and one that didn't. So we just have that small thing to work through, I think. But thank you, Steve, for your review of the contract language. It's a complete redo from the existing 20-year contract. So it did take some time, but Attorney Perrone from Cole, Stoker and Toskey is counsel for both the county and the health department. So we did have to sign a waiver of that conflict. But we both certainly agree that he's got our best interests at heart, and we're both agreeable to all the other terms, as is Director Shoemaker.
Okay.
Happy to have this formalized.
There you go. Another thing off your bucket list. Okay, consider approving the proposed lease agreement between Isabel County and the Central Michigan District Health Department commencing on October 1st, 2024, and authorize the board chair to sign the same.
Support. It's been moved and supported to move item 6 to the work and regular session of the county commission next week. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. The ayes carry. This item will be forwarded to next week's meeting. Thanks, Steve. Oh, you know who I saw yesterday? Norm, the Melf guy.
Oh,
Who's at our Health and Human Services.
Thanks, Steve.
Thanks, Steve.
Thanks, Steve. Okay, does anybody have any announcements?
What was the big news at MAC? Oh, yeah, well, can you hold that announcement? I think I know what it's gonna be.
Oh, the
Was
big
there
news.
big news at MAC?
Yeah, I can say something about that. It's very exciting. You know, Kirkland Community College in Roscommon, they have been purchased, the whole campus, by a public-private consortium, and they're gonna make a 400-bed
Substance use disorder.
Well, no. That's part of it, but it's gonna be bigger than that. It's gonna be 400 beds for youth in the judicial system and also,
Oh.
yeah,
Wow.
and it's very exciting and they're happy there and I'll give you more details. I think you probably do have some, but I will send
That's
them out
nice
an
and
email.
close.
Because there was a presentation as well, and there was, I met the guy who's the head of Bear River Treatment, who started it, and I think they have 3 different locations in the state, and it's very
Wow.
exciting, and they got some grants, and
Hmm.
it's, and there's gonna be jobs, and it's quite tailored, the campus is quite tailored to the things they want to do, especially with restrictions, I think, between boys and girls or something like that. I'll give you more details later, but it was very, very well received and very much needed. I think we'll all agree, since lots of times we have to send people in the juvenile system out of state for housing and all that
Mhm.
treatment.
Good deal.
I just thought it was gonna be about Bear River being here, because that's happening too. They're gonna have residential treatment. I think it's open now, it's open now, but that's definitely something we need here, since that detox ward, for one thing, went away and never came
Yeah.
back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have more details.
Great update from Vic. I'm glad you were able to go down there. Mhm.
Anything else?
Just gonna say, go Beal City,
Okay. That's right.
Friday in the state title.
Wow, okay. Yeah, no, Sacred Heart, the girls, they didn't get that.
Semifinals.
They were
Did
getting
good.
there. Okay,
Great year.
a call to the public, if any public's there.
There's no one online at this time.
Okay, at this time then, I would like to adjourn the meeting of the Human Resources and Public Works Committee. Yeah.